subscribe, and join the fighters. Rep, it'll be the best thing you ever did, knuckleheads.
Knuckleheads, welcome to my official prediction for Jack El Gato Catterall versus Arnold Barboza Jr. This fight goes down this Saturday in Manchester, and I'm very excited about this fight for multiple reasons. First and foremost, this fight, Knuckleheads, is high stakes. We've got an interim WBO title on the line, and even though it's not the real thing and a shiny version of the real thing, it's still some jewelry on the line for two guys who really deserve the shine. What do I mean? Well, Catterall, 31 pro fights to his name. Barboza, 31 pro fights to his name as well. And between the two of them, we've only got one blemish, and that's when Jack Catterall lost to Josh Taylor in their controversial first fight, a fight that a lot of people thought Catterall actually won, and a fight that he came back and avenged very recently, right? So this guy is hypothetically undefeated. It's in another universe, both of these guys are undefeated, maybe in a more just universe, and here we have them competing on Saturday night. Another reason I love this fight, Knuckleheads, is because it's such a 50-50 fight. As I said, both guys with 31 fights to their name. Catterall, 13 knockouts, with Barboza having 11, so very similar as far as stoppages. Also, just one loss between the two of them. Like I said, Catterall in a very controversial loss. And get this, both of them have been inactive for about the same amount of time, right? Both of them fighting near the end of last year, October, November, and both of them coming off some very big wins. Catterall beating Regis Prograis, right? Even though Regis was in the twilight of his career, but a good scalp nonetheless, a good name on his resume. And Barboza kind of doing the same thing against Jose Ramirez in his last fight. So these two have got some great momentum. They're in a very similar position. And to be quite honest with you guys, I have no idea when I'm first looking at this fight who's going to win, right? I had to really sit there and study these guys to come up with this prediction. The other reason I love this fight, Knuckleheads, besides it being a clash of styles, it's a clash of lifestyles, right? You got one guy from the UK who grinded his way up to the top, right? And then you got the other kid from Long Beach, from California, and Barboza also grinded his way up to the top. So even though they're from completely different parts of the world on the other side of the pond, they're very similar in that they've been putting in that work, and they're finally going to get the chance to capitalize on Saturday. Now, who I think is going to win, this took a little bit of thought for me because I think they're both really good fighters. I think they're both technical. They're not overly powerful or overly fast, or incredibly athletic or anything like that. They're just very solid in everything they do. So it was a bit of a difficult fight for me to kind of break down and pick. But look, let me give it to you straight, right? Barboza is going to have a height advantage of at least 1 or 2 inches. But where he's going to have a massive advantage is in the reach. 72 inches to Jack Catterall's 67 inches. And when you look at the way that they fight, they don't really give you a lot of opportunities to get at them. They're both very technical, very conservative. I'll say the one that's a bit more risky is probably going to be Jack Catterall. And he's more risky as well in the way that he fights, right? He keeps that front arm down. He kind of uses his shoulder. It's almost like a hybrid shoulder roll type fighting style. He keeps that front arm down. The back arm is up. And I feel like he's really heavy on that front foot, right? And I feel like that's going to be a real problem for him in this fight against Barboza, who's not so heavy on the front, probably kind of in the middle of his hips when he fights. I feel like he's very technically sound. He keeps his hands up. And I feel like he's a very tough guy, and he's going to utilize that reach. Catterall's going to have to come in with that 5-inch reach disadvantage. He's going to have to press the action, something that I don't believe he does all the time. I believe both of these guys, like I said, they like to sit back and counter. They can be aggressive at times, but they're very intelligent. They sit back and counter. And I just think the physics of this fight, right, the build of these guys is going to make this fight a bit easier for Arnold Barboza. Now, can Jack Catterall win this fight? Absolutely. I would say it's a 60-40 fight, maybe even 55-45 in favor of Barboza, just because I like the fact that he's more of a traditional fighter, the way he holds his hands up. I think that combined with the range and the understanding of the range and the reach is going to help Barboza win this fight on points, right? But that's not to say Catterall can't make something happen here. It's just my prediction with the official Fighters Rep prediction Fez on is a decision win for Arnold Barboza going into enemy territory and beating Jack Catterall. Now, the other thing to take into consideration, right, and this definitely leans a little bit towards Catterall, is going to make it a bit hard on Barboza, is they are fighting in Manchester. And Jack Catterall is a lefty. So, assuming Barboza can get over those two things, which I do believe he will, right, because he's a tough kid from Long Beach, California, I think he wins this fight by decision. Knuckleheads, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Who wins this fight? After you do that, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join the channel. I would greatly appreciate you joining the channel to help me continue to build this channel, continue dropping daily content for you guys. Also, get your merchandise in the link below. Anything you guys spend here will, it'll get reinvested right back into the channel and help me continue to build and make it better for you guys. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this fight. This one is for the hardcore fans. I think this is going to be a great technical fight, and I look forward to seeing it on Saturday.